evil. A word mortals toss about to define anything that contradicts the moral certitudes they invent for themselves, little understanding that to face true evil would reduce them to withered, gibbering shells. In 1996, drunk with delusions of driving players to such madness, Capcom created Resident Evil. But it takes only a few moments with the game to realize that when it came time to look into the face of evil, Capcom flinched. Instead, players contend with a series of increasingly over-the-top situations and enemies that make mockery of the very word evil. What evil can a hungry dog contemplate? What mortal will be driven to madness when face to face with a large stationary plant?
Well, in Japan, the game is called Biohazard. That more accurately reflects the subject matter, but this is actually interesting. When it came time for the US release...
Resident Evil stars resourceful human Jill Valentine and her obedient mule Barry Burton, along with the enthusiastic Rebecca Chambers and troglodytic flesh sack Chris Redfield. Players choose to take control of Jill, or if they prefer death, Chris, and venture into the foreboding Spencer Mansion in search of the missing members of their Special Tactics and Rescue Service team. At first, evil seems to threaten from every haunted shadow, but this notion is quickly punctured when players come face to face with the mansion's inhabitants. Nothing more than other mortal humans.
That's a zombie?
How does one tell the difference?
It's subtle. This one is eating another human.
And?
That would be unusual for a regular mortal.
I should hope so. Ugh. Imagine getting so close to a human. Ugh. So as Jill Valentine and her team explore the mansion, they find themselves navigating claustrophobic hallways full of human and zombie foes.
They're all zombies.
Capcom could have made this more explicit. Another failure! And so as zombie protagonist Jill Valentine delves deeper into the mansion...
Jill is a human. It's more about intelligence.
So, human protagonist Jill Valentine delves deeper into the mansion, solving a series of puzzles and arranging her inventory item box, while zombie Chris Redfield, utterly baffled by even basic thought processes, wanders around until he is mercifully killed off by other zombies, or if players unlock the good ending, perishes in a spectacular explosion.
He's also human.
Enough! All of these fine distinctions will confuse the viewer. Since there are no substantive differences, I will henceforth use the term zombie and human interchangeably. Settled? Good. No magical incantations or elaborate binding rituals are necessary to suppress Capcom's version of evil. All of the humans are easily overcome with mundane weaponry, and as the game progresses, the weapons only get bigger while the foes grow more ludicrous. The game is considered an early example of survival horror, but by suggesting that the mortal condition can be survived, Resident Evil tosses away all remaining shreds of credibility. Indeed, Jill does survive her encounter. With so many weapons, it would take an especially dense zombie not to, and emerges from the mansion a reborn action hero with a newfound will to live. Not the babbling gray-haired madwoman she should be, had she encountered true evil.
The plot of the game deals with the Umbrella Corporation conducting experiments on mortals and releasing a virus that turns them into monstrosities. That could be considered evil.
Is it evil to manufacture a tool? By that definition, a blacksmith is evil. Or the creator of this crank? Is this evil?
I assume you obtained it evilly.
Perhaps in a future game, Jill can assault the manufactory where it is assembled with a rocket launcher, thus sparing the world the threat of its construction. Evil. The weapon created by your so-called evil Umbrella Corporation, a being known as the Tyrant, does not even attempt to attack Jill. It only grows justifiably agitated when the foolish Barry frees it from its slumber.
Damn you!
It can't control what it does.
Why don't we do a montage of all the game's bad voice acting? Mortals find it humorous. It'll be relatable.
Relatable?
But Barry, didn't you say you're going back to the dining room to do some research?
Whoa! This hall is dangerous.
I'm sure the serum must be there. I'll be right back.
Jill, you're here too.
Yes, you're here too?
Ugh, stop! The mewling of one zombie sounds no different than any other.
None of those characters
In
were
one
zombies.
area alone could Resident Evil be said to even come close to approximating the reality of evil. By moving the game into the huge and terrifying third dimension, Capcom turns the mere act of walking into a waking nightmare. The human characters can only move in the direction they are facing, meaning they must awkwardly pivot themselves into position before attempting ambulation. Even the straightforward task of escaping a giant shark becomes a confusing ordeal. But if difficult controls alone constituted evil, then the following games would all qualify.
Then what would evil look like?
It would not be a tool manufactured in a laboratory. It would need be something beyond mortal reason altogether, that rips away the teetering construct they call reality and forces them to gaze into the magnificent chaos beyond. Perhaps a strange, otherworldly entity secrets itself in a cave beneath a small mountain village, radiating a malignancy generation after generation, gradually driving the mortals above to madness, until, by their long, unknowing communion with the abomination, they are transformed into something both less and more than human.
But the games have spent 25 years making it clear that the virus is man-made. It's too late to rewrite the entire backstory.
Indeed. Thus, players searching for the titular evil in Resident Evil will leave in profound disappointment. Resident Evil utterly fails to live up to the promise of its title, sacrificing a genuine depiction of evil for a clumsily controlled action fantasy about humans with rocket launchers biting one another.
Only the zombies bite.
So those are... Is there perhaps some distinction in their hairstyles?